Hi, fellow musicians and music lovers. To my left is Sandra D, or Sandy, or Sandra, and I am Shawn. We comprise the duo the Sheck-Tones, and we are part of the musical collective Sacred and Secular. This is another episode of Under Consideration. If you're new to the show, it's a laid-back stream of consciousness show, low-budget show, where we discuss music-related stuff that we are taking under consideration and or that we hope you will take under consideration. So for this episode, the tune to be taken under consideration is Lodi, Creedence Clearwater Revival song, one of my favorite bands. I'd say probably one of yours.
Probably one of mine, yes.
Yes. Tune was wrote. Now I'm starting to sound like Popeye. It's rotten and So anyway, it was written. There I was able to enunciate and get out my words.
There you go.
It was written by John Fogerty, recorded by his former band Creedence Clearwater Revival, which included Stu Cook, his bass player, Doug Clifford on drums, and at that time his brother Tom, may he rest in peace, on guitar. And if you're not familiar with Lodi, it's kind of a country rock song. Doesn't have a lot of chords.
No.
Basically,
three-quarter.
Yes, three chords and the truth.
Yes.
And in this case, the truth that John Fogerty touches on is basically a struggling musician who gets stuck somewhere and basically has to play in cheap places where that he thinks, if I got paid for all the times I had to play where people where the patrons got snockered, and for all the gajillion songs that I went through for people, I'd get out of here. And but he's not. He's basically having to play in Lodi, which is an actual town. It's in California.
Right.
I think it's in Northern California, which is where Creedence Clearwater Revival was based and got started, which is strange. If you read about the band after you have heard them, if you first hear them, where did you think maybe they were from the first time that you heard CCR?
You know, I wouldn't have thought California. I would have thought more like maybe even Texas.
Yeah, me too. Or I'd have thought Louisiana.
Yes.
But it turns out that they're from Northern California, kind of around the Berkeley area. Actually, I think El Cerrito is the town that they're originally from. I have to double check that, but we started working that into our jams when we were part of another project called El Solo and the Responders, and especially when we had Jim Shecky McGrain, who is no longer with us, at least in body, and we enjoyed doing that. I would program my keyboard as like a musette, a French style accordion, and play the little lead line that Tom Fogerty plays on the record, and away we would go. And it was just a fun,
very fun to do. Yes.
Yes, a fun tune to do, and audiences tend to enjoy it. So, kind of for those reasons, we will keep it under consideration as something. Well, our verdict is, after taking it under consideration, that for sure we'll keep it in any live sets that the Sheck-Tones do. We will continue to keep it under consideration, depending on time, availability, or various logistical factors, if we'll be able to record it. But for sure, we would say that you consider trying to play it, because basically three chords and the truth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And for sure, listen to the CCR version. Great playing on that. Nice, clean guitar work. And the rhythm section of Stu and Doug support everything. Well, that was just a tight band, and it's probably one of the reasons why that CCR is among my favorite vocal and instrumental groups of rock era ever.
Yes.
So
They are famous enough. They just go by initials. Ain't too
Yep.
many that
Yes,
go by
CCR.
initials. CCR.
And when did you get familiar with?
It was probably last of high school, early college. Radio play. That's shoot. That's all I had. I did a lot of driving between my hometown and college, 3 hours on the road. So, that radio got played a lot, and
Lodi popped up.
And Lodi popped up a lot because CCR, no matter what they did, was a hit in my humble opinion. But it was a good band, good solid lyrics, good solid playing.
Yep, and I think I actually kind of became familiar with them because somehow growing up in like elementary school at that time, you would still hear CCR's version of Proud Mary then. And so that was my first exposure. Then, like I've mentioned in some other episodes, I also got to hear snippets of CCR on late 70s, early 80s, best of albums that would be sold. And eventually, I think when I was 13 or 14, and the new Walmart opened up in Richmond here in Ray County, which is where we are. Salute to Ray County. Salute to Ray County. I was able to get I'm trying to remember if it's called Legend, but it's basically a best of CCR album. And it opens one of the sides, and I was hooked on it. And so I was familiar with it. Sandra D was familiar with it. So when it came time to find tunes to cover, it was an easy one to pick. So with all that in mind, take it under consideration to listen to it. And if you're in a cover band, give it a try to play it. So that's all we got for now. Take care. Stay safe.
Peace
out.